I'm live, once again. With no picture. Are you kidding me? Come on. What's going on here, YouTube? I've done this several times. Many times. And now, you're telling me that after I fixed everything, I still don't have a picture. Why is that? Why is that? I'd like to know. I'd like to know why that is. Anyways. That's weird. What does a guy do? What do you do when you live in a shoe box? Well, first of all, you take the shoes out of the box. Creates more space for you to live in. So, it looks like YouTube is not allowing me to do things. I wonder if that's straight across the board. I wonder if there are other people that are experiencing the same things. It's hard to tell, though, huh? I got a black screen. Excellent connection with a black screen. Hi, my name's Tom. Some people know me as Tommy. Others know me as Linus. There are a few who call me George. And one person in particular calls me Dickface. So, I'm known by many names. And from now on, I'd appreciate it if you just you refer to me as Darkness. Darkness within darkness. My screen's black. I don't know whether I'm coming or whether I'm going. And if Christ has not been raised, our preaching is useless, and so is your faith. Christianity is based on this truth, so our faith is. Let's see more. O death, where is your sting? 1 Corinthians 15:55. Let us continue to live victorious because he lives. Let's read it again. And if Christ has not been raised, our preaching is useless, and so is your faith. 1 Corinthians 15:14. Look it up. Christianity is based on this truth, so our faith is. Why is it that most churches really don't focus on Jesus' teachings that much? Like the hard lessons, the ones that he was really trying to hit home. I wonder who this Christ guy was, this Jesus fella. This guy who said that he was God. What was his deal? Was he God? Well, wait a minute. Didn't he say that we were all gods? All sons of God? We know that, right? I think. Yeah, we covered that yesterday. Did we? What else did we cover yesterday? Thank you for that. And if Christ has not been raised, our preaching is useless, and so is your faith. Christianity is based on this truth. So our faith is. O death, where is your sting? Let us continue to live victorious because he lives. What does it mean to live victorious? What does it mean to have victory in Jesus? Now that we're coming from that perspective, the Jesus perspective, I would love to talk more about this. What does it mean to become or to live victoriously? And what does it mean that he lives? Well, as far as I know, when the Christians say he lives, they mean that he lives inside of you. Jesus. Yeah. The same thing that was in Jesus lives inside of us. Agreed. Agreed. Can we agree on that? Is that something we can agree on? The same thing that was in Jesus is inside everybody. Hey, crows are back. Victory in Jesus, my Savior, forever. He bought me and saved me with his redeeming blood. What does it all mean? Do you think Jesus wanted a religion based around him? Do you think that's something that Jesus wanted? Or do you think Jesus would think, man, what the hell happened here since I've been gone? What are these buildings? Fuck, you're doing synagogues again? Idiots. That's what you would say. You're doing large buildings again? And you're focused on profit? What the You have not listened to one thing. Or you chose to forgot. You chose to forgot. That is not English. Is it? You chose to forget. That's better. Pastor Robert Jeffries welcomed President Trump to Easter service. That Easter service that is going to be live. Now everybody can watch it. Everybody can watch it. all at one time and get indoctrinated by one person all at one time. Hey, how about we have churches and homes now again? Remember when we used to get together in each other's homes and have dinner? That's church, by the way. I welcome President Trump to my home for some tea. Church. So he's also welcome here. And is that true? If Christ has not been raised, that all preaching is in vain? All preaching is useless, and so is your faith? If that didn't happen, exactly the way Jesus said it, like, words from Jesus' mouth, if they're not true, that would also apply, right? Then your faith is kind of for nothing. Right? And you got to believe all of it. You can't just believe some of it. Can you? Let's just do Jesus' teachings. Let's talk about that. Or something else. You want to talk about Yahweh? You want to talk about that prick? You just called Yahweh a prick. That's not good. Hey, Yahweh. You like to create a lot of wars, don't you? Don't you? You need the constant tension for you to be relevant, for you to continue, for you to live longer. Yahweh. So what about that Jesus guy? What did he have to say that was so important? Christianity is based on this truth. So our faith is. Christianity today is based on that truth? What did Jesus say about feeding the poor? What did he say about how difficult it is for people with wealth to live a God-centered, optimal life? How hard is it? What did Jesus say? What are we talking about right now? Just $19 a month shows you care. Love Shriners Hospital. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know anymore. So a lot of these places, just the administration's so thick. Where does the money go? I saw these kids playing on a checkerboard that looked like it survived the First World War. Hey, we got something for you guys to play with. You like checkers? There you go. Checkers. Oh, and we're making you another prosthetic limb, so that's pretty cool too. All right, so that's cool. Everybody wants everybody's money. You see, when we think how limited we are when it comes to money, because there's only so much money, right? Which is a fallacy, but that's the paradigm in which we live. It's only so much. Well, maybe the next system that we bring in, if there is another system, how about we go on the assumption that there is an unlimited resource and that we could pretty much have whatever we want, considering we're all working towards the same goal, right? Right? No, I was just talking to myself. Just talking to myself, Mom. I'll be fine. Give me 2 hours. Coming to you live on YouTube. I have no picture right now showing. That's fine. I'm live. I'm also live on Facebook. And thank you for your comment, Deepak. Gives us something to think about. Oh, death, where's your sting? 1 Corinthians 15:55. Oh, death, where is your sting? Well, death doesn't have a sting, does it? If death is nothing to be feared, then it doesn't have a sting. Another great illusion that the devil played on himself. Convinced himself that he was going to die. Doesn't happen. Right? And death only exists. Where does it exist? Because we're talking about the same thing. Death, fear. Fear exists in the mind. So death, the concept of death, is in the mind. And logically we know don't we? That there's more to this than just us walking around in flesh suits. Granted, your suit looks a lot nicer than mine. That's a great tie. Purple? You went with purple today. I don't know if you can pull it off, friend. Jake Tapper, everybody. Jake Tapper, my good friend at CNN. The most trusted name in news. Let us continue to live victorious because he lives. Who? We? We live. He lives. That's equally true. Right? What are we talking about right now? It's so confusing. All right, let's start from the beginning. Start from scratch. Your Norton has expired. Really? Can you stop sending me messages, please? No? I'm gonna have to go with a different web browser, maybe. This is crazy. That's a lot of pop-ups. I turned that option off. I don't know what's going on anymore. The world's gone a little crazy, don't you think? For the longest time, you've been pointing fingers at me and telling me I'm crazy. Some of you. The world's a little crazy, huh? Shutting down the whole world. Collapsing in an economy. Who's going to get the first bailout? I wonder. It's not going to be me. I can't even get a reasonable loan. That's true. That's how bad it is. That I can't even get a reasonable loan. I can't even. No one will receive me as a member of their bank. My credit's not that great. I wonder why. I wonder why. It's because I was so... What? Unresponsible? Fair. Fair. If I ever got a check from somebody, I'd have to go to the Money Mart to get it cashed, because I can only do cash. Or I can put it on my prepaid MasterCard. So, there's ways to live. It's not the end of the world. In fact, I don't pay any service charges anymore to a bank that doesn't do anything for me. The banking system, if we're going to keep it, which I highly suggest you don't, but it's not up to me. I highly suggest you don't keep the banking system that we currently have, especially the big banks. But if we have to do it, you might want to rethink a few things. I got some options. I'd love to talk to you about it one day. Where everybody wins. Even the banks. Even the banks win. You know why? Banks win even more. Because now they're doing the right thing. As opposed to the wrong thing. And we all know what's right and wrong, don't we? Banks. What else you want to talk about? You want to talk about that Easter service that Trump is going to go to online? Because he's going online to watch that service, you're going to watch the same service? Yeah, me too. I might do that. Is that today or tomorrow? It's Sunday. It's today. It's Easter today. Get out of town. It's Easter? What, I'm locked up all inside here all by myself and everybody else is going to Easter Sunday? What? I want to go now. I really don't want to go. This church is opening, though, despite what the government says. I applaud this, actually. Well done, church. I'd go, too. What are you going to do? You going to arrest me? At church? Oh, you're going to tell me that I'm not being reasonable? That I don't know the science? This is when I like church. In fact, who has a service today? I'm going. Service is open, Penticton. I'm going right now. Services. Churches open in Penticton. Find all churches in Penticton. Come on, New Beginnings. You got it. Victory Church. Is it open? Are you open? Take up your cross and follow Jesus. Are you open? You don't want me coming. I would make too much of a stir. I don't think you're open. Find a church anywhere. And maybe I'll go for a walk. Last time I checked the doors on any church, I think it was like a Monday. It was locked. The Tuesday was locked. Wednesday was also locked. Thursday was locked. I believe Friday was locked up until a certain time, and then it was open. Don't know why. Was not invited. Saturday, most of the day, it was locked. And with the exception of services, Sunday was pretty much locked all day. Nobody in it. All right, I've given up on the church. Again. Because all I really needed to do was take a huge dump. So. Give me a reason to go to church. What's the reason? Because it doesn't seem like people are very nice there, and it seems very cliquey. And as soon as you're out of a group, it's very hard to get back in. Not very welcoming. Yeah? Yeah, not cool. Personal experience. Cheers. They're pretty good at judging, though, eh? Judging? Yeah. Yeah, they're pretty good at vocalizing their opinion of other people. That's true, isn't it? Yeah. Step in line. Don't ask questions. Do what you're told. Do what the good book tells you to do. You know those passages that we focus on? So that everybody just steps in line? And if Christ has not been raised, our preaching is useless, and so is your faith. Christianity is based on this truth. So our faith is. O death, where is your sting? Let us continue to live victorious because he lives. Explain more. Would you like to expound on this using your words? What does this mean to you? Thank you for your comment. What does this mean to you? Take it step by step. Let's start from the end. Let us continue to live victorious because he lives. What does this mean? To be victorious. Is it the same as winning? And what's the definition of winning? Does one person or one group have to lose for the other to win? Or can we all win? What does it mean to be victorious? Do I have to pick a side? Because I don't want to pick a side. Is that okay? Well, the voice of reason never picks a side. Voice of reason. Right? We're the voice of reason. Not the government officials, not your pastor at the church, not your reverend, not your priest, not your mom, not your dad, not your boss, not whatever. Am I right? Who's your best teacher? Do you learn how to be well by taking advice from a sick person? The world is mentally ill right now on a large scale because it thinks itself extremely important, the mind. It thinks itself the center of the universe. It thinks itself the all-knowing, everything. Where on one hand, that might be right, and on the other hand, it's absolutely wrong. Yeah. It could be both. We need balance. I wonder what Jesus said about balance. Now that we're quoting Jesus. Let's see what he said. Let's ask Google what Jesus said. Bible verses about balance in life. All right, so let's go with Ecclesiastes because I'm just going to post it. We'll take this one step by step, word by word, line by line. Because what else do we have to do on a Sunday than to be at church? Ecclesiastes 3:1-8. There is an appointed time for everything, and there is a time for every event under heaven, a time to give birth and a time to die, A time to plant and a time to uproot what is planted. A time to kill and a time to heal. A time to tear down and a time to build up. Read more, yeah. A time to weep and a time to laugh. A time to mourn and a time to dance. A time to throw stones and a time to gather stones. A time to embrace and a time to shun embracing. A time to search and a time to give up as lost. What is that? Read again. A time to search and a time to give up as lost. A time to keep and a time to throw away. A time to tear apart, a time to sew together. A time to be silent and a time to speak. A time to love and a time to hate. A time for war and a time for peace. I did not come to bring peace. Did Jesus say that? I think he did. Does it have to come to war? Well, it's pretty shitty if it comes to war, isn't it? Are we at that point right now? Well, there's that war on the coronavirus and that war on fear and terror. You know, the terrorists. There's that war. That wasn't a fucking war. Go home. Go home and think about it. And then once you've thought about it, don't think anymore. Erase it all. Start from scratch. Think clearer. The collective mind, the collective whatever is going on that we're all connected to is sick. In general. The gods. Fighting. Is it really a time for war? Well, because you said so, I guess. I used to like Ecclesiastes. Now I'm not sure. Did Jesus say that? Who said that? Who wrote Ecclesiastes? Paul? Who wrote Ecclesiastes? You know, you should really know that. Author of Ecclesiastes. Is that how you spell Ecclesiastes? Wikipedia. Okay, it was written in Greek. We knew that. Is one of 24 books of the Tanakh, where it is classified as known as the Ketuvim writings. These are old writings, translated probably originally from Hebrew. Greek translation of the Hebrew Kohelet, also written as Koheleth, or Kohelet. I probably pronounced all of those wrong. The pseudonym used by the author of the book. In traditional Jewish texts and throughout church history up to the 18th and 19th centuries, King Solomon is named as the author, but modern scholars reject this. No one knows. I'm uninterested now because nobody knows. What did Jesus say about it? And what are we talking about right now? What did Jesus say about what? Balance. What did Jesus say about balance? Two ways you can find balance in the Christian life. What does the Bible say about balance? Bible verses about balance in life. 25 important. Jesus didn't teach us to juggle. Jesus didn't teach us to juggle. I gotta look this up. This is the title of a writing. Jesus didn't teach us to juggle. We taught us to juggle. Remember the parable about the bad servant who spent too many hours at the office, and the good servant had a flexible work from home telecommuting arrangement so he could spend more time with his kids? Remember that? No? I paraphrased. Sorry. Jesus didn't tell any parables like that. You would think the Bible has a lot to say about work, life, balance, and pop-up menus. But it is hard to find passages that speak directly to the issue. There is no verse that tells me when I'm traveling on the road too much and neglecting my family. I wonder what this says. I want to know what he says about juggling. Paul isn't very specific. This is going in the middle. Paul. Well, who cares what Paul said? I want to talk about what Jesus said. Can we do that? What did Jesus say about balance? Well, you got sidetracked. All right. Luke 2:52. Proverbs. Jesus. Jesus didn't write any of this. Job. He wasn't in Job. These are all Old Testament. Proverbs. A false balance is an abomination to the Lord, but a just weight is his delight. What? I don't know, Proverbs. Luke. First concepts. And Jesus kept increasing in wisdom and stature and in favor with God and men. Doesn't really say too much, does it? Knowing Jesus. These people didn't tell me very much of what Jesus said about balance. I wonder if I can find it anywhere else. I wonder if balance is necessary. Well, logically it is, right? You take any pivot point, and if you don't have exact balance, it'll fall. It'll eventually just fall. See? Watch. No matter how much. So look at the balance is off, right? Well, how do you fucking... You gotta build a base on that one. You can't build your house on the sandy land. And don't build it too near the shore. Well, it might look kind of nice, but you'll have to build it twice. You'll have to build your house once more. You got to build your house upon a rock. Make a firm foundation on a solid spot. Pope holds Easter Mass without audience. Just the way the Pope likes it. I got all this to myself. This is perfect. I don't have to worry about being assassinated. You wonder why people want to assassinate people like this? So people get frustrated because they see the inequality, the unbalance of it all. The Vatican, a country unto its own, vast amounts of wealth and control, power. Perfect scenario for the church. Six feet away from each other. No large groups, please. Yeah, we gotta do it different. This is a new world that we live in now. It's a world where you have to fear everything. It's the only way we can keep you guys in line. Hey, Deborah. So, yeah, see who's here. We're live on YouTube, but I got no picture. Or I was live on YouTube. I don't think I'm live anymore on YouTube. Doesn't matter. Not there. I'm going to shut down some tabs before I go on with another thing. Shut it down. No, I'm still live. I just don't have a picture on YouTube. And then I'm live on Facebook, who I'm really talking to right now because not many people talk to me on YouTube. Not many people talk to me on Facebook either. So it's church today, though. So we're doing church. I might start holding church at my place. Everybody's welcome. Anytime, too. The door's always open. I think it's open. Well, if it's not, I'll unlock it for you. Come on in. Church is on. All right, now that I got everybody here. What were we talking about? Churchy stuff. Okay. Oh, that's my forte. Hold on. I can do this forever. I just gotta stretch every once in a while. Sunday church. Welcome. I should try to go live again. Church. Sunday church. Room 240. That's what it's going to be called. Room 240. Church. 240 friendly. .240 friendly. That's stupid. You're stupid. You're stupid. Do not be excessively righteous, and do not be overly wise. Why should you ruin yourself? Ecclesiastes 7:16. You're welcome. And therefore, beloved, knowing this beforehand, be on your guard so that you are not carried away by the error of unprincipled men and fall from your own steadfastness. Comma. What are we talking about? Balance. Well, when things aren't balanced, most times in history, it becomes violent. That's true. I'm suggesting that we do it without violence because, first of all, it would be much quicker and less messier and easy. Let me tell you how. Pastor claims Trump is the most pro-faith president ever. Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah. He's really given you that that plug that you always needed, didn't you? You needed that. To convince yourself that you're doing the right thing. And really, you're just like really lazy. And be honest with yourself. Profit. That's the sign of a successful church, isn't it? The profitability. How many people can you get in? How young is your audience? That's fine. It's a club. I could deal with clubs. We don't have to get rid of them. Clubs are fine. As long as they don't have power. The only power should come from the individual. The collective. The collective individual. That's where the power should come from. Isn't that the way government should be working? And it's not? Government's working on behalf of us? But it's not? They work on behalf of them. They make the decisions. Same with your churches. Who makes the decisions? Well, the ones at the top. I know exactly who makes the decisions. Now, do you want to do something? Okay. You've proven to me that you don't. How many times do I have to be proven this? To speak out against it? Or to at least shine a light on you, church? That all of a sudden you got this president that pats you on the back, says you're doing a good job. What's the other hand doing? He's fighting the good fight you don't know. He's fighting the good fight, and you need a personality like him to suffer all the blows because he's been so hated. Yeah, he has. Brought it on himself, didn't he? With the things he said. How he comes across. Doesn't learn, right? No one should hate anybody. But come on, man. Well, are you just going to sit by and allow these things to continue? Not to shine light on these things that need the light shone on? Church? Pick one. Protestant? Catholic? Presbyterian? What do you want? Lutheran? Pick one. We'll focus on that one first. First of all, what are you doing with your building? Is it open all week long so people can I don't know. What are you providing for people in that big space of yours? Do you want your church? Do you want your club to succeed? How about some truth? How about you talk about the greed situation that we've found ourselves in? Now we're here. Right? World shut down because of COVID, because media, who is bought by businesses, governments, own media. How thick are we going to be about this? When are we going to see it? How bad does it have to get? Okay, we plug one hole, or we plug a series of holes, but if we don't understand that there are like just as many holes, if not bigger holes, that needed to be plugged on our end, if we don't realize that, and we think we're right all the time, and we pander to people, and we don't surround ourselves with the best people, because we're the smartest. You know there's a problem, right? Come on, man. Come on, man. So I'm glad we're having church now. Every Sunday. That's good. I'm going to try to go live once again on YouTube and maybe get a picture. It's church. Church. Church with your buddy Tom at the Beaumont Motel, room 240. Hey, if you don't want to listen to me the rest of the week, come by on Sundays and have a listen. I'm going to do church every Sunday now. Yes. Every Sunday I'm going to do church. And it's going to be very similar to this. Well, I don't know if I want to go to that church. I don't know if I want you to come to my church. Oh, and now it's your church. You caught me. Let's go to your church. Where's your church? Who are we talking to right now? That's what I'm talking about. Then I take the mic. I pretend like I'm going to throw it at your head. And it's going to be very convincing. Everybody's going to think that it's going to happen, but I won't. I do the motion though, right? And then I just set it down on the table like this. And I take these off. And I just walk away. Church every Sunday. Room 240 at the Beaumont Motel. I'll be here all year. Coffee's on, tea's on. I'll have I'll make breakfast. If you guys want breakfast, if I have enough groceries, I'll make breakfast. Start coming anytime. 10? 10 a.m.? See how long it goes? We're going to do church for the next, I don't know. I'm leaving in about 5 hours, so in the next 5 hours, I'm still doing church. How about we don't call it church, though? Can we call it, like, we're just getting together on Sunday now time? Fucking church is loaded with all sorts of negative connotations. For me, I just don't want to deal with it. Can we talk about things? Just get together, eat? Okay, let's do that. You want to get together and eat? Perfect. All right, so we got that. Well, it's not church. What is it called? We haven't decided yet. Well, let's call it something. Anybody? Church. Just church. Church. Okay, I'm gonna stop streaming this YouTube thing. There's no picture, so I want to know why that is, first of all. I don't know what this enabled DVR setting is about. It's on. So we're going to stop streaming there.